Good evening and welcome. I'm Stacy Manning, Managing Editor of the Brunswick Beacon. On behalf of the Brunswick Beacon, the Brunswick County Chamber of Commerce, Sunset Properties, and ATMC-TV, we want to thank you for coming out tonight for the Meet the Candidates Forum for the town of Calabash. This is our third Candidates Forum this week. We started out on Monday in Carolina Shores. Last night we were down in Sunset Beach, and next week, on Wednesday, we'll be in Charlotte. All of the forums that we're doing are being recorded by ATMC-TV. They'll air on Channel 3 next week. You can check the Beacon for times and the days that those will be on. Tonight, we have two candidates with us, and because there are only two candidates, we're going to do this a little more informal than we have with our other debates during the week. We're going to give each of the representatives that are here tonight an opportunity to introduce themselves, and when that's finished, we'll have a couple questions that we'll ask them. The questions that we have, they were compiled, we made requests from citizens here in Calabash, and they sent questions in, and then members of our staff also put some questions together. Here in Calabash, there are 5 candidates who are seeking 3 open seats on the board that will appear on the ballot on November 3rd. 3 of those positions, all 3 of them are 4-year terms. With us tonight are candidates William Bill Dixon and Joseph Jody Nance, and we appreciate very much that they've come out to talk with you. First of all, what we'll do is we'll turn the floor over to Mr. Dixon, and we'll give him the opportunity to introduce himself and talk a little bit about why he's running for Calabash Commissioner.
My name's William Bill Dixon. I'm a Commissioner of Town Service. 4 years ago, or 3.5 years ago, when I became commissioner, we had one Ranger truck and a trailer. I don't even think there was a bottom in the trailer. It had a piece of plywood and a garbage can, a shovel, and a rake. And since then, with my help and the other commissioners, we have come a long ways in keeping this town clean. And the reason I'm running again is for the citizens of Calabash. Because if I didn't think I could help them, I wouldn't be sitting up here tonight. And that's about it.
Thank you. Mr. Nance?
I served previously on the board some years ago, and also the Planning and Zoning Board. I was vice chairman and chairman, and I feel like the term that I spent, I did quite a bit of good. I got off the board, wasn't reelected, and I've been sitting out a couple of years, and during that time, going to meetings and different things, I see a lot of animosity on the board between certain commissioners and all, and I feel like the town's at a stalemate. And I've had some citizens to approach me to run, to try to get on the board and try to make a better union, if I may put it that way. For instance, just the UDO for one thing. Committee was appointed to do the UDO. I think they've done a decent job, and now it's been stalemated again, and has been for years. Just things like that. I think a couple members on the board has lost their focus, and I feel like it's time for a change. And I want to get out there and help the citizens, the merchants, and everyone to try to make this just a more pleasant place to be and a more suitable place for businesses to come in and want to stay.
Thank you. So what we'll do is we'll ask a couple of questions, and we'll kind of rotate who goes first. We'll start here with Mr. Nance, and we'll give you both the opportunity to answer the same questions. Calabash's proposed Unified Development Ordinance has drawn much controversy in the last year. What do you think are the main problems with the UDO, and what changes need to be made to make it a workable plan for the town of Calabash?
The way I see it and what I've read of it, there's so much what I call nitpicking involved, or you could call it pork barrel. It's just overrun with ifs, ands, and buts, and needless ordinances that only make it a hardship on builders and a layman person to even try to understand. And like I said in my introduction, there was a committee appointed by the mayor of citizens, councilmen, and very smart people within the community, business people, and property developers. And they came up with a, from what I can see of it, a very streamlined ordinance that is workable. And there again, it's been stalemated, and you got one that's this thick with all the odds and ends that people can understand. They came back, the committee did with one like this, and took out all the odds and ends, something that someone can work with. And that's basically what I say.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Dixon?
Well, I think the license has got a lot to do with it. The contractors come to this town, they got to run up their office 25 times to build a 10 by 10 building. And Kings Bay over yonder, Raleigh was okay, Brunswick County was all right with them. They had everything they're supposed to have. We sat right over there, and I knew at least we held them up 6 or 7 months, and not even a year, because the I wasn't dotted or that T wasn't dotted. It was 2 or 3 of us wanting them to go ahead and get the project going. 2 or 3, no, not yet. But if that project had been turned loose over before the money got where they couldn't get money, I believe it'd been halfway through. And we'd been getting more tax money in this town now.
May I do a follow-up?
Sure.
And we need business to come to this town, but it's a job to build something in the city of Calabash.
Okay, thank you, sir.
A little follow-up on that. The way I see it, no set of commissioners is going to get ordinances right the first time, every time. When you make an ordinance or a set of ordinances and you put them out there in the field and you use them, if you try to get them all right, like they tend to try to be doing in this thick book they've got, you'll never get them out there. Go ahead and adopt something people can work with, and as you go along, if you find something that's not workable or practical, you as a board can change it. But to go out and pay this company a large sum of money to build a book, whom doesn't even know Calabash, what we want in Calabash, what the citizens want in Calabash, and come up with this thick book, that's just not common sense. I think a lot of it can be done in-house. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got to get a UDO that the people in Calabash, the citizens, can work with. Not only that office, the town hall, that everybody out here that pays taxes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in it that can be changed, and next year maybe we'll do a little bit more changes, get the right commissioners in there.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. We'll start this question first with you, Mr. Dixon. Earlier this year, the Brunswick Beacon investigated Town Administrator Jeremy Cribb, and we discovered that he had a criminal background and he had falsified his resume. What can the town board do to reassure its citizens that something like this won't happen here again?
Well, I think they'll have to go through Washington with the next one. The CIA and the FBI and ETI and everything else. That's what we're planning on doing. If I'm on the board, that's what we will do. And I'd like to say one more thing. Yeah, I made a mistake, and I'm sorry I done it. But everybody makes mistakes.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Nance?
Mr. Dixon's correct. A mistake was made. But while I was a commissioner, I also had the privilege of having to hire a few. And we didn't do the extensive background then that should have been done. But luckily it didn't bite us like it did this board. Maybe he should have been terminated a tad earlier than what he actually was. It's a judgment call. But they made an honest mistake. If I'm elected,